Bro, it's 2P1C. What are you doing?
Oh, hello, everybody.
This guy's hogging it already.
I'm Player5.
I am mikeysgone, also known as Mikey. That's my name. We got some fellas back here.
Hey, what's up? I'm TheRealNoman.
Yo, what's up? I'm RequiemOfSpirit.
And we are about to speedrun Breath of the Wild any %, but with a little twist.
A shimmy and a twist, if you will.
So we will be doing 2 players, 1 controller. So I will be sharing this Pro controller.
Are you currently hogging?
I'm currently hogging it with my good pal mikeysgone. And it will add some unique challenges to the run, which is already very cool. So I'm going to just go ahead and start. I will count off for when time starts, because it starts on gaining control of Link.
So, fellas, what's up with this game? Are you going to talk about it or what? This game was here a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. So if you've been watching the past few years of GDQ, you might remember a Breath of the Wild 90% speedrun run by me 2 years ago at AGDQ 2023. And the funny thing is, we actually have a chance to beat that time. So, you know, if we do well enough, then I can perform better with somebody else playing than I can by myself, which would be exciting. Okay, so I will count off on the fade out. Three, two, one, go.
All right, so the very beginning of this run, this very beginning split is gonna be super intense. There's gonna be a whole ton of glitches. In fact, we're gonna see every single glitch in the run within the very first 2 minutes, and it's gonna be really hard to explain it all. And so anything that we skip, we promise we'll come back to it and we'll be explaining that stuff later. But yeah, this game is crazy. You're gonna see that probably within the first 40 seconds of the run. As soon as they get this Sheikah Slate, they're already gonna be doing the very first glitch here. So this very beginning area of the game is called the Shrine of Resurrection, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna clip out of this room instantly. So by running into this corner here and facing at a certain angle, they can use the scope to turn Link around and put him outside of the room. So that right there skips minutes and minutes of cutscenes, and also it makes sure that the time of day cycle doesn't activate, and it makes sure the weather is stagnant. So now what these guys are gonna do is they're gonna have to clip back inbounds, and they're gonna have to get out of this cold area to get the first few items of the game.
So the way that the game is structured is we have to beat Plateau, we have to collect Paraglider to leave the game if you've played the game before. There is no way to skip that. There probably will not be a way. And so any % will always start with this whole section. And we're gonna grab all the items we need here. We're gonna grab the shield and the spear. And then we're gonna start performing a trick soon to clip into the Temple of Time to grab a bow and some arrows. And that'll be all the items we need to beat the Plateau. Speaking of which, you wanna explain what the clip we're gonna be doing is and how that's gonna work?
Well, before that, I kind of just want to remind you guys, this is 2 players, 1 controller. So every single input that these guys are doing, they're sharing their controller. Every single time they do any whistle sprinting, any glitches, anything, they have to coordinate every single button press. So every single little thing, even tricks like that we're going to see pretty soon here, like this shield clip, they're going to be swapping inputs back and forth, and it's going to be pretty intense. So this right here is called a shield clip. So basically what they're gonna do is they're gonna bonk on the side of a wall, and they're gonna store an angle. And then what they're gonna do is by storing that angle and then doing a shield flip and unequipping, they're gonna redo that angle, and they're gonna be able to basically clip Link's collision through any thin walls, like that window right there.
So what you're gonna see here is really interesting and cool. We promise we'll come back to it. This is normal gameplay if you haven't seen this before.
Classic Breath of the Wild.
So right here, we have quite a bit too much height, so we're gonna throw this weapon, and if you change your shield right there, you don't take fall damage.
And again,
once more.
They're gonna reuse that angle, and they're gonna clip into the bomb shrine, and we're in.
So that clip is pretty important. What we do there is we skip the entire tower sequence, because the only way to get into the shrines normally is to activate the tower. And by doing all these clips in all of the shrines throughout Plateau, we save minutes on the run.
All right, so this rune that they're getting is the Bombs rune. Now, this is probably the most powerful rune in the entire game. This is going to be able to let us do every single movement glitch that we're going to be doing within the rest of this run. That slide that they were doing earlier, that was called BLSS. And the bomb will basically let us do that slide anywhere we want without a pot or anything. So before we get into BLSS, let's, I guess we'll go into wind bombs next. This trick here, this is called Gamer Wind Bomb. So this is going to be a really precise trick that, let's see if these guys hit it real quick.
Oh, that's not
It's not gonna work. We'll try again. Oops.
Super
Almost.
close. All right.
So that's bad RNG.
No.
So the way that tricks works is bullet time is slightly flawed in this game. When you're in bullet time, the way some objects interact differ, and specifically when you drop 2 bombs behind you like that and detonate, the circle bomb and the square bomb doesn't explode, but gets pushed into Link, launching him across the shrine. That specific wind bomb that we tried to do was super precise. The angle for that and the speed you need is really tight.
That's a trick so precise, like I don't even do that in my PB. Like that's a trick that's so hard that 99% runners probably don't or shouldn't do that trick.
Top runners hate if you do this trick. Click here to learn how.
Oh my goodness.
One thing we didn't mention is that while the text is in French, right now our voice language is in Italian, so you're going to hear something really special here.
Oh, I love that guy.
Shout out to Italian.
So that was a pretty recent discovery, actually, that if you have the voice language in Italian with French text, that the game actually is a whole second faster. So we're even finding things out like 7 years post game dropping.
And so to get between shrines, BLSS is going to be the fastest way, and we're going to see that again. And maybe this time we can actually try to explain what's happening. So what the players are going to do is they're actually going to try to get a bow and an item smuggled within their hand. And when they do that, well, I guess first Amiibo. I don't scan here.
Well, we'll get back to Amiibo. So basically, when you smuggle the bomb with a bow in your hand, it's going to get really wonky. And what they're going to do is they're going to wiggle Link back and forth in a step animation. It's animation that is immune to gravity. And that collision of the bomb and the bow against Link, wiggling back and forth, is going to keep building up speed. And that's going to let him slide all the way across the map and without losing any height.
All right.
Okay, and there we go.
So that's basically the main way of travel that they're going to go across, like all the plateaus and like how they're going to get to the later parts of the game as well. We're going to see that right here.
So you hear the clicking, and that's Mikey flicking the control stick back and forth to slide through. Gonna do another really quick shield clip here. Oh,
Nice. We missed the stop.
A little detour.
nice.
Nice.
Now we're
Nice.
fine.
Let's go.
That basically covers like all of the major tricks you will see in the run. And now that we've talked about that, it's probably like a good idea to think about what's actually happening, what the runners are doing when they're performing these tricks, and like the dynamics of 2P1C for these tricks. Now you might look at BLSS and think about the flicking and think that that may be super complicated, but it's actually fairly trivial because the parts that you use to set up BLSS and do it are fairly disjoint. Both players can act independently. But for things like wind bombs, things that happen over a single second, control is actually switching between both of their hands for like 12 or 13 times, various inputs going in. So to have to sync all of that together, they have to use either visual cues, or you will see later where they can't use things like slashes as like a setup. They have to talk out loud and count down. And we're going to probably be quiet while they do that for an upcoming trick later in this run.
But not now.
Not
now.
now. So a wind bomb, I like to think of it as a trick that's like, imagine doing a fighting game combo, but you're sharing
that's
the
bad.
inputs. Ooh. Yeah, so think of this as like a fighting game combo, but these guys
okay.
are sharing the inputs,
Wait, one more?
Yeah.
and they're trading each input back and forth about 12 times.
All right, one more for the fans.
No, we'll just go to the
you wanna
spot.
go?
We're just gonna go.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
this is another wind bomb that a lot of runners like to avoid, and mostly only top runners do. It's very quick with all the inputs you need to press, making it even more difficult with like 2 players trying to coordinate that.
And it's pretty precise.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, this run is a real treat to watch because these guys are pulling out all the stops. They're doing every single hard trick. They are not doing any safe strats, really. They are doing, like, the most top runner, like, world record almost level strats.
One thing I would like to point out is that Mikey is on the left side of the controller and I'm on the right.
So I'm flicking.
So yeah, he's doing all the flicking. I'm pressing a lot of buttons.
All right, so this part, they're basically going to be doing another slide, and then they're going to get to a part where we're going to have to get quiet so that they can coordinate the next wind bomb that they do. So this slide's pretty tough because they're going to have to build up a lot of speed because they're going to hit a ramp, and if they have enough speed, they'll go up the ramp pretty smoothly.
This slide's also the most annoying because there are a lot of rocks and trees here to block your slide, as you see Mikey
Expert
skillfully-
driving.
Expertly avoided. I trust that guy at the wheel.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so this is the point where we need to coordinate. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. I'll try it.
No way.
Let's go!
We need skew.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Is that going to work?
Hopefully.
Okay. I'm okay. Oops.
All right. Don't mind this. There we
There
go.
we
Nice.
go. Okay. So normally we would reuse the skew from the previous shield clip, and that saves a bit of time because you don't have to reset the angle that we stored. But we messed up a little bit, so we had to come all the back up there. All right, so this is where the run has kind of introduced everything, so we have time for a donation or two.
Absolutely. We had a $100 donation from Crazy AZ in Litbrooks. We are so excited to be here in person, meeting friends from the Breath of the Wild community. Let's go, Player5 and Mikey. You're both awesome, and we know you're going to crush this run. Also, $25 from Kenny. My wife and daughter love the Zelda series. We are excited to watch this run together before bed. Time for one more?
Yeah.
All right, we had $50 from Anana Mouse. I love The Legend of Zelda. Can't wait for double players. We can't either. Thank you.
Huge.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, another thing about these wind bombs that we're doing on plateau is that we don't have the paraglider yet. So a lot of the wind bombs you do in this game, you can just open up the paraglider, you'll maintain the momentum you had from the launch, and that allows you to go really fast, really far distances. And inside of shrines, you can like save a wind bomb that doesn't quite go far enough or like doesn't quite go the right direction. But on plateau, you don't have access to that. So you just have to land in the right spot, which makes them a lot more precise.
All right, so this is going to be a boulder launch, and this is going to be our last use of stasis for the entire rest of the run. So say goodbye to the stasis screen right there.
If you were keeping count, we only used it twice, and that was the second time. You should probably pay attention, see how many times we use Magnesis and Cryonis throughout the run.
Oh, yes. Cryo was a fun one. So yeah, this is the final shrine already. It's fine.
Let this guy drive.
But this BLSS that we're doing is a little bit different because you have to actually like steer around a mountain. But okay, so this part is going to look a little different from the other shield clips. Oh, that's a little unfortunate.
So they call this ESC, also known as extended scam clip.
Oh, that's okay. We
Whoa,
need to
whoa.
clear skew.
Nice.
Come on.
Yeah.
Over here.
Turn around.
Okay.
This is fine. No, it's not, because I can't hit the frame. Come on, dude.
No.
Work with me. Huge.
Nice.
Oh, nope, just
Oh,
kidding.
never mind.
Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
done.
Never
we got
mind.
scammed.
Okay.
You guys are yeah.
Thank you for the applause.
All right, now you
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, it was so good, we had to do it twice, you know?
So that there was extended shield clip is a frame perfect trick. And it's very annoying because you cannot buffer 1 frame at a time in this game. You can only buffer 2 frames at a time, which is why it's really easy to just miss the frame. Specifically, surfaces that are like where walls like that, which have 2 sides, like a thick door like that, you have to shield clip once, and then on the right frame, you can clip again. In this case, that's an extended shield clip, and that gets you through the door. This one is the only thing we do, the only one we do in this run, and it is it's known to kill a lot of PBs, scam a lot of runners.
All right, so we've just picked up Cryo. One thing to note is that we cannot skip any runes. The game does not allow you to. It has a failsafe
Oops, gotta hold forward.
to
for
prevent runners from, or, okay, let me just,
that. You gotta relax. I gotta relax. Bro, come on. These are very nice jumps, Link. This isn't a
all
bit,
right.
I swear.
all right. There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Good job.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Cryo, we don't actually use it anywhere in the run. We are forced to collect it though, because if you try to come up here without it, the monk will tell you to go back.
Do not pass go. Do not collect rune.
Oh, actually, go
Actually,
collect
do
it.
Do collect the rune.
Oh, and this is the last shrine, but I'll mention that we actually wait to skip this cutscene, right? You might look at it and think, oh, this guy fell asleep, didn't press X to skip, but no, it's actually faster because the game gives you a shorter load if you skip a certain amount into the cutscene, because the game is trying to like load the overworld during it, and if you skip too early, it interrupts the load and restarts the loading sequence, so it saves like 5 seconds if you do it. And with 4 shrines, that's like 20 seconds in the run.
Yeah, thank God they fixed that in Tears of the Kingdom. Shout out to Tears of the Kingdom, by the way. There's a run coming out for that soon on Thursday.
All right, so this is going to be the end of the plateau right here. This is going to be the end of the tutorial section. So you guys are about to collect the paraglider.
And we're coming up to a cutscene, so a time for a donation or two.
Absolutely, and we are now 60% of the way in our incentive for New Game Plus Ultra Hard for Horizon Forbidden West, so keep those donations coming in. We had a $100 donation from TheRealNoman I'm glad we hit the incentive for this game. Now we can watch these 2 talented runners breathe some wild as they run one of my favorite Zelda games with the same controller. The week of AGDQ is always an important time of year for me, since the charity event is behind is trying to eliminate the very thing that my dad has been fighting these last 4 years, which is cancer. Let's defeat cancer just as swiftly as Link is able to defeat Calamity Ganon. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
We had $5 from Dusk Argentum. First time attending GDQ in person, super hyped to catch Breath of the Wild live. Gotta hand it to the donations making this run possible.
I don't get it.
So we talked about the initial part of the game, how we had to get the paraglider to leave. Well, after that, this game is an open world game, as most of you might know. And so we can go straight to the end game, and that's exactly what we're going to do. And the upcoming splits is going to be very tight. We're going to grab only the weapons we need to defeat what we have at the end of the game waiting for us, all 4 Blights and Calamity in a row.
So earlier they scanned some amiibo, and the only reason they scanned those amiibo are actually to get certain fish. So normally in a run without amiibo, you'd be going to get a couple of mushrooms here to get some attack up. Basically just a buff that gives you 1.5 times damage. But instead, if you just scan some amiibo and get a couple of fish, then you can just cook those fish instead. All right, so everything's going to be unloaded here because they were going so fast that the game didn't have time to load anything. So as everything's loading in, they're going to be picking up items. They're going to be navigating around enemies and sneaking around them as they spawn in. and grabbing up some weapons that are needed for the end game.
If you're paying attention to that slide as well, you might have noticed that Mikey wasn't flicking continuously. You might have wondered why not. The game actually has a speed cap, and if you hit that, it'll just kill all your speed.
Dude, I don't remember what fish
We need it.
Okay.
So if you don't get enough attack up fish, there's a nice handy razor shroom right there you can pick up as well. Makes scan RNG a little bit more lenient.
Again, I just want to point out that this is 2-player, 1 controller. Even just moving around in this game, as smoothly as these guys are doing it, almost looks like it's one person doing it. Like, honestly, it is pretty insane to watch.
And we did mention that they were doing difficult wind bombs before that saves seconds. Up here, they're doing a route in Castle, which saves 20 to 25 seconds overall, and it's very difficult.
This is a route that I don't even do. This is a route that is so hard, I can't even do this.
Yeah, cook that.
Yeah, okay.
A little treat.
Oh, nice, yeah. A little bit of a safety there.
Yep. Very nice.
All right, there we go.
And there's our attack up food.
Delicious.
So here is the exciting part.
Another scope loop there, just like with SOR, into a mid-air wind bomb. You might have noticed that they didn't even use anything to coordinate there, like no talking to coordinate, and that's because they can tell, based on each other's movements and inputs, what to do for the mid-air wind bomb.
A little bit more enemy manipulation here.
So fast, this bow didn't even load. How about that?
Oh, there it is.
We call that Moblin Craig. He's often late for work. All
Yeah.
right.
Now we have all the equipment we need. And
Make sure to make a save here,
Yep.
by the way.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of safety for the marathon.
The year is 2051. Everyone does a safety save. Oops.
Ooh.
Okay.
Right there. Oh, oops.
A little bit of time loss. Oh, nice.
Oh, no.
Okay. There we are.
We're
That's
fine,
fine.
we're
Detonate.
Bomb is still there. Not a problem.
There we go. Yeah, so
Nice.
we're using like the weapon swinging to coordinate when we're gonna jump. And it makes so much of this a lot easier than you might expect.
So I didn't mention there was 4 blights here, but we're actually going to do something special here. And when you want to talk about wind blight skip.
All right, so what,
This one, I believe.
Yes.
okay, so what we're going to be doing is a trick called wind blight skip. So by standing in a very certain spot and walking forward in this cutscene while firing this arrow, the arrow is going to get positioned in a spot where it's going to be hitting wind blight in the face over and over and over again while he's spawning in here. So this entire cutscene, he'll be shaking and he'll be taking damage. And he's gone.
And he's gone.
Only 3 bites left to go. All right, so this part of the run is actually pretty intense. So they're gonna have to do some very specific weapon routing and some very specific manipulation of all these enemies to be able to get through this run. They only have 4 weapons, 7 arrows, and 3 ancient arrows. So
And only 1 bow. Yeah.
and only 1 bow. And that's all they're gonna need to get through, what's that, 5, 6 bosses?
Yeah. It's actually really impressive how well this is routed. We used durability on almost every single item, except for basically just 1.
You good?
Wow,
Okay,
yeah, I
nice,
forgot.
nice.
I was thinking of the other strat.
There is a slightly faster strat you can do here so that you can kill this blight in 1 cycle. But that is very hard to coordinate, and only top runners go for that.
Nice. Oh my gosh. You guys are killing it, guys. All right, so this phase 2 spot is going to have a little bit of RNG, whether Fireblade gets up or if he stays down and lets them one cycle here. So let's hope he stays down.
Nice.
Perfect.
That is actually so much harder than it looks. If you miss even a few of those shots, like even 1 or 2, you won't get the one cycle.
Also,
There
yeah,
goes.
we're using gyro, so we kind of.
Yeah, you're going to see these guys swinging around the controller together.
That weapon that we threw actually only had like 1 durability left, so that was perfect weapon routing. It's the first claymore we got when we entered castle. That's all the blights.
That's fine. Okay.
All right, so this is probably going to be the most impressive part of the run that is
again.
about to come up right now.
Okay.
You son of a. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
You guys are the greatest to ever play this game.
That is the hardest RNG to flurry rush, and they hit that.
I'm gonna eat.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And that was
And a
phase
perfect
1
phase
of
one.
Calamity Ganon. That is the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Oh my.
And an instant laser. Wow.
This guy's so good.
It's actually RNG, whether Calamity gives you laser or an attack. And it's very uncommon to get an instant laser.
While they're doing the stun lock here, I just want to go back to that phase 1 that those guys had. That very first attack that came out was the middle claw, which was the hardest attack to flurry rush that Calamity can give you. That attack, sometimes when I see it, I just give up. But those guys, they saw that middle claw and they got that flurry perfectly. Then these guys don't miss. They hit every single headshot while they're using gyro, sharing a controller. And then they parried a laser, did a bunch of double hits.
Let's go, dude.
And ended phase 1 with the bow breaking, which is a perfect phase 1. And with phase 2 there, you might have noticed that we didn't even give Calamity a chance to get back up. And that's because if you slam at the right time, Calamity will remain stun locked, and we can keep him there in that position. And with that, we're done with the hardest boss. Now we're down to Dark Beast Ganon, the cutscene boss. We mentioned Italian earlier in the game and Italian voice acting. This is actually the place where we saved that 1 second. We had a runner who was running in Italian because he liked the old man voice, and he just kept getting goals that were better than the rest of the community, and that's how we discovered.
All right, so what they're going to be doing is they're going to be manipulating Dark Beast so that he doesn't move whenever these little golden
Yeah,
spots
super early.
show up. Oh,
That's fine.
slightly early there on that movement. Which is completely okay because this part of the run is pretty much an auto-scroller. There is, like, honestly not really a way for them to mess up at this point.
That's a good horse. I bet you guys didn't know this horse has its own name in the file called Link's Horse.
Oh, I got it. Go on.
This guy's got to practice his names.
That didn't hit?
What?
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, this game is just making things up now.
So this particular boss, when running this at the top level, you can actually use audio cues from the music in the background to try to hit these targets just as they spawn. And if you do it perfectly, Zelda won't speak at all. Like the best fight you can get is like triple speechless, where Zelda doesn't speak for any of these segments. We'll see if our runners hit it for this third one here.
Oh, there it is. That's frame perfect right there.
All right, time is coming up. So on the explosion of the eyeball, that will be the end of the run. GG. There it is.
How was sub 29? Holy.
Let's go. Dude, what an insane time.
Wow.
That was genuinely really impressive to watch.
That was insane.
That was crazy.
All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed Breath of the Wild 90% 2 players, 1 controller. That was a very exciting run.
Yeah. Quick shout outs to people. Shout outs to our friends Antonio and Danny. They got married today in Copenhagen. Shout outs to them. 2 players, 1 controller would not have happened if not for Antonio. So thanks to him for, arranging this original meetup that we had like 4 years ago. Jeez. Shout outs to Wolhike Song, the GOAT, Rosin, Sketo, Vivo, all the GOATs of this game. And shout outs to you watching at home for making this happen, this bonus game.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for donating.
Thank you for
We
being the
really
insane
appreciate
incentive.
the chance to show off such a cool run. And of course, your generosity for supporting such a good cause. I would like to give a broader shout out to the Breath of the Wild speedrunning community because, this is what I've been doing for the last 4 years, and it's been a blast the whole way through. Everybody is so nice and supportive, so
And
huge
really
shout
cool.
outs to everybody.
But don't touch that dial, because next up is Red Dead Redemption. So that's going to be crazy. I believe that game has a horse too. So they're very similar. You guys are going to love that. So thanks again for watching. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to this guy. Shout outs to our commentators and our friends in the aisle.
Definitely shout outs, huge shout
Thank you
outs.
so much, everyone, for watching. And thanks. Very cool.